Collection Connection. I'm Nate the Great.
Dave Jaggerman Smith.
Okay, and what we're going to be doing is, this is kind of like a piggyback on our You Down with CGC, Now You Know Me video. We talked about several grading services for comic books during that video.
One which was CGC, our go-to grading company.
Definitely. The second one was that we spoke about was PGX, and PGX is kind of on the border, not very trusted, due to some things that happened to them. If we're not going to get into it, but you can Google the trouble for PGX. And then we also forgot to mention a grading service that's out there that one of my buddies, JC Wise, pointed out in the comments below. That is a Vault grading company. I've never personally even seen one of their encapsulated books. And when I looked it up, I was able to Google some images of it. But when I looked up a Vault graded book on eBay, I got one book. So they're not really...
How did it look, though? Like, did it look the same?
Yeah, it's just a comic book encapsulation with a little strip on top that says what it is and whatnot. I mean, it was a really random book. It wasn't like a high dollar or top dollar book, but... You know, I guess for all, you know, intents and purposes, to have your book encapped, the whole point is to where it's the condition it is when it gets in there. So, I mean, it serves its purpose there. But as far as collectability, resellability, and grading reputation... So
far, CGC seems a way ahead of the ball game.
Yeah, definitely. And then lastly, the new kid on the block is CBCS. It was started by the former president of CGC. And it's got very... I haven't heard any negative reviews about it yet, and
but we haven't really heard any positive reviews either.
Well, I mean, the books are out there that I've seen. The books are out there, and then books. When I'm looking at auctions on eBay, the CBCS grades are holding value with the CGC grades. You know, book for book. So then that's not really a word of mouth. No. I mean, I don't know a lot of people who have got the books yet.
So the best way to get a positive or negative feedback is by the Collection Connection sending something out there. One of the services they provide is a signature authentication, where they don't have to be present. They just look at the signature. They say if it's Jack Kirby or not.
Yeah, and they have a database of known signatures that they compare with your signature with their known database, and they'll tell you whether or not it's fake, in their opinion, of course. And this is I think if this is going to be revolutionary if it works out, and they don't have any. I think they're going to not be giving out verifications all willy-nilly. I think they're going to be really, you know, cautious about who they do things with, and but the best way to find that out is to submit a book of our own. So since I mean, this has been a very... You want to talk about homework going into an episode for Collection Connection, as well as a piece that I'm collecting myself. Since the day that I heard about CBCS's signature verification, I have been on a mission to get this book that I have in front of us, and I wanted to do it for the right price. Yeah. Because in and of itself, without the signature, it's not a high dollar book. I mean, you could pick up this book for what, $20? Yeah. I was very blessed to get it in the condition that I did. I mean, this is a 9.0 plus. I mean, this is a high. I
believe it's 9.6, maybe 9.8.
Yeah, it's
in my personal opinion, and I have graded a lot of books.
You know, it's in great. I don't want to oversell what we're doing, but it is. I've been watching it for a while because these books are out there, and I mean, I've lost bids by like 50 cents on these books at the last second. So it's been months that I have put into getting this book with this signature, in this condition, and most importantly at this price, to be able to undergo this experiment.
To make it worth getting a Jack Kirby authenticated signature.
Jack Kirby. I didn't say it before that.
Yes.
It's a Jack Kirby signature.
The thing about this book is it is a Marvel Milestone #1 X-Men with certificate of authenticity. Nate has contacted CBCS and told them about it. They said they don't need the certificate of authenticity, but as our viewers seen it, there is one, and
I'll do a close up in a minute.
And if it comes back not authenticized, well, we know something's up with CBCS.
Definitely, or something's up with Well, the thing is, it's a dynamic forces. I mean, as far as certificates of authenticity go, dynamic forces leads the market.
Yes, definitely.
They don't give out these things all willy-nilly.
Yes.
They've got each one of them is stamped, it's sealed. Now, the thing that I'm bummed out about is that the book in the bag and board itself has this seal on it on top. And so the bag and board and the COA is sealed in the bag. So they don't want the certificate of authenticity at CBCS when I send it. So I'm going to have to break this seal, remove the certificate of authenticity, and keep it myself, and then submit the book by itself to them because they don't.
Yes.
The COA means nothing to them.
But the fortunately, point is, if it comes back not certified, we know they're full of something. Because
there's a breakdown somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a breakdown somewhere. Because this book, first of all, I'm a big X-Men fan, and this is one of the most notoriously known signed Jack Kirby books.
It is. It is. The numbers match.
The numbers match. The COA matches the numbers. Anybody who's an X-Men fan and who's been looking for Kirby signatures knows that these are out there.
Yeah.
So I don't see why there would be a problem with it. And then I will get to have a slabbed Kirby signature on the Wall of Fame here.
Yes.
At the Collection Connection. So he'll go with my Stan Lee and my Bob Kane. Yes, I have Bob Kane. And then I'm also, and if it works out, I'm going to be collecting some other famous writers and artists who are no longer with us in a verified form.
Yes.
So, you know.
So the wait is going to take approximately 3 months.
Yeah, there's a just like CGC, you can pay the extra $8 and do the fast track.
Yes. Which is highly worth it.
Definitely. I mean, you don't want to be sitting around for 6, 8, 10 months because of $8.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people are patient enough to do that.
And cheap enough.
And cheap and cheap and pay.
Yes.
The good combination of cheapness and patience. But me, every day that my book is not in my hands,
it's another day without your book.
and it bugs me, man.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts.
So waiting on the Kamikaze.
Kamikaze, yeah. As of right now, I submitted on November 1st a book to be CGC certified, my X-Men #12 first appearance of Juggernaut, and they tried to drop it off yesterday, the 13th of February, and we weren't here. Oh, excuse me. We weren't here for the drop-off, so they left a note saying that they're going to try to drop it off again on Monday sometime. So, now I know the book tried to reach me and it hasn't, but I mean, this is, what, 4 or 5 months later?
Yeah, I'm waiting for my Carl Allsetter sketch.
So, you know, the wait is on. So that's what happens when we do all these. So this is going to be a 2-part video. Part 1, you know, we're going to show you the book in its raw form. And part 2, we're going to send it all through and see how it goes. And
we'll even get footage of Nate sitting in the mailbox.
So we'll do some close-ups for you guys. Close up on the Kirby signature.
He did 2,000 of these books. Sealed, hologram, certificate of authenticity.
So, for my own investment, I want this to work out. I probably, as a devil's advocate and a big CGC fan, what are your feelings about this whole thing?
I just want to see if it's legit or not. I want to see if this is really a contender for that, you know? Because if this really does work and they do get reputable, well, there's some competition for CGC right there.
And competition really helps out with price tiers.
Not only that, but right now CGC is kind of all in its own. You go to a convention, you don't see Vault, you don't see PGX, you see CGC.
And I know that the CBCS has had a presence at cons on the east side, on the east coast.
I haven't seen them on the west coast yet.
I haven't seen them on the west coast yet either. But I know they have a presence on the east coast, and as they grow, I'm sure they'll spread out.
But I am happy to see this experiment go through. And I'm happy that we're actually one of the first people to actually...
I haven't heard of anybody else doing this.
So this is the before video, and we can't wait to show you the after.
Yeah, so, don't hold your breath. It'll probably be a couple months, but I'm excited to see how this all works.
Yes.
So, that concludes our video for the Collection Connection. Nate the Great.
Dave Tigerman Smith.
And we're looking forward to tying this up in a few months. See you soon.